On 4G, when you see me, I'm getting dope. On 4G, on 4G, on 4G,
4G Audio Podcast. I don't actually.
No?
I was just probably going to tell everybody that it's gangster shit all day. Happy motherfucking Friday. I'm Stylez the Prophet.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together we are 2/3 of the Basement Weirdos. This is the 4G Audio Podcast, episode 264. I don't know, is it?
It is, yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Nailed it.
Nice. That just proves I know how to count.
Does it?
Well, I was trying to think. I'm like 263 is the last one I remember. So like I just went with it. Any motherfucking way, we got a special fucking episode tonight. We have a returning guest who has a lot to talk about since the last time he's been here. And without further ado, tonight we got Nayef in this motherfucker.
Yo. What's going on? It's me, man, Nayef.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. How about you? Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, man. Very well. Thanks for coming through, man.
Oh, man. Always.
Things are good. New year, new me, or whatever they're saying these days.
Yeah. All that fun stuff.
Speaking of new me, you don't want any of this?
Oh, I'm okay right now.
Okay,
actually,
yeah.
no. I actually haven't been smoking much weed. I went on like a whole 4-month
You're gonna
hiatus.
get contact high after this one.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not saying I don't ever.
It's been a minute.
I went like 4 months not smoking. Then Christmas break came around, and lots of family things, which led to them being like, "Come on," and me be like, "All right, fine, I'll take a puff." And like, what I say, bro, I would take a puff and walk in and be like, "Oh my gosh, I am high." Like,
Oh,
you
yeah?
know?
Like your tolerance went way down, yeah?
Yeah. So what happened after the break was one day I was.
Okay,
gonna
what
go
was
play
at first? What was the? Why did you quit smoking
Oh,
weed?
actually, it's either a really cool story or
We have a lot to get into too, because I even was
Yeah.
just gonna say I feel like maybe it has something to do with you working out too and stuff.
No, actually, I haven't been in the gym in like 2 weeks.
You were just there the other day.
I know. Maybe
2 weeks
it has been
ago.
2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, the valley the other
Anyway,
day.
so my kid got really sick.
Okay.
And when I went to see him in the hospital, he was like,
he was like that sick.
yeah, like he
Yeah.
like wasn't moving, like lifeless kind of thing, looking
Oh,
at me
shit.
like this, like scared the shit out of me.
No doubt.
Scared the fucking shit out of me. So it was a Sunday, so I went to church, and when you go to church, there's like the room on the side. I think what they call it, the Eucharistic room. I don't know. I studied the Bible, not the church. So anyway, so I'm in the room and I'm praying. I'm praying for like half an hour, and the whole time I'm just saying like, whatever you want me to do, just tell me what to do. I'll do that. And for like half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. I walk out of the room, and as soon as I walk out, the priest is talking about vices, and specifically marijuana.
No.
And I'm just like I literally look up priest and look up. I'm like, God, really, eh? Like, really? I was like, okay, I'll quit after today. And then the next day came, and I was like, no, give me 1 week. And so I smoked for a week, and then I quit for 4 months. And then the Christmas break thing happened. And yeah, so then after Christmas break, there was one day when I was going to be video gaming. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to get like a P5 joint and just like see what happens. And I got one, and I smoked it, and I was so high. Like,
Video games didn't happen.
whoa, no, they did. They happened amazingly. They were actually, that was the problem. Was like, no, but when I mean
You
like I
were
was
there.
so high, I'm like, man, I really hope nobody calls me upstairs. Like, I don't want to face nobody. Like, I was like paranoid of people seeing me this high. You know what I mean?
I've been like that since high school.
Bro, it was so cool. It was so cool. Yeah, and then so ever since that, it's been kind of like, you know, like once a week, once every 2 week kind of thing. I will say this week I have been a very big flop and just smoked every day, but like once a day every day. You know what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean? Like, come on. I was
Not like 3 or 4 times or
bro,
nothing.
I was
It's
like,
just
well, I
once a
was
day.
smoking like 10 times a day every day, like on a
No,
good
I
day. You
hear
know what I
you.
mean? Like,
But did you inhale?
Yeah. Come on, I'm not a pussy. Like,
No.
if I'm gonna smoke, I'm gonna
Who
smoke.
was that? Clinton? Or
It's hot.
Probably.
someone like that? Yeah, Clinton. I think so.
I think all the presidents probably at one point
Yeah.
said some shit like
But
that.
I didn't inhale or something like that.
This one, my grandma actually used to smoke cigarettes, but she would never inhale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she
That's
was
how I
like an
started smoking
actual just
cigarettes.
social smoker.
But doesn't
Like-
doesn't that give you mouth cancer like way faster though?
I don't know. She's
Probably.
passed away, and it wasn't from that. So God rest your soul, though.
Just had to say that. Just had to put it out there. It was not that.
It wasn't mouth
shit.
cancer.
No,
No,
sorry.
man, that woman, like, oh man, I never seen. I think she was in her 70s, and like you wouldn't have known until she got like sick. You would not have known her age. Like she was such a strong woman.
Yeah.
Like wow. All my grandparents, my parents, all the aunts and uncles in my family, they're all like that, man. They're all so like they put like the people in our generation to shame. Even like me, like I work a lot. You know that, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I don't even compare to how they did, because like I still like go out on the weekend. Like they didn't have that either. They just worked. Like let's build this life for the kids.
Yeah,
and then their kids just work to build a life for us. And then we're like, let's have fun.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Yeah, something changed along the line somewhere.
Yeah, no, but like I mean, I learned from my dad, so like I do work a lot, like even outside of work.
Yeah.
But still doesn't compare to them. Like I used to yell at my dad because he wanted to go have fun. Like, yo, go do something, go have fun, have a good time, like live a little bit, like.
But the thing is like, so I'm kind of going back in this, but
I'm slowing down on that already.
The story you were telling whenever you were like praying and being like, yo, you know, give me a sign, or like tell me what I have to do, you know. And then whenever you first said you walked out and the guy's talking about, I'm sorry, not the guy, the priest. Was talking
Father
about
Paul.
vices. So then I'm like, okay, that's a little bit vague because it's okay, vices. You're like, well, like fuck, it could be pop. You know what I mean?
No,
like you're
but
like, but I know, and that's
yeah.
it. Is whenever you first say vices, I'm like, okay, well, it's a little vague. You know, it could be anything. And then how does that lead you to figure out exactly what it is? And maybe that's not even the sign you were looking for. But then you said like weed, and I'm like, okay, well, it seemed like pretty specific at that point now. And it's like, hey, yeah, this fucking thing.
Yeah.
But how's like your kid's better now, or like
Yeah. So
like it's
what,
not a continuing thing. It's like it's
not so okay. So pretty much what it was it started with strep, and the strep turned into scarlet fever.
shit, bro.
So he was puking a lot, rashes just everywhere. So when we took him to the Queensway Hospital, they were scared that he had I forget some other disease that like I haven't heard of in forever, like malaria or something like that.
Shit.
Just something that I shouldn't have Googled. You know, 'cause it's like, oh, the heart could pop or something like that. I was like, oh, I really hope he doesn't have that. Anyway, so then they take him to Chio, and they're like, yeah, we think he has scarlet fever. He could have Kawasaki disease, but we don't think he does.
Sounds fast.
So pretty much it was like after a few days, he seemed good, right? And he just needed his fever to not be a fever for more than 24 hours, and he'd go like 22 hours, and then his fever would spike. And they'd be like, we have to keep him another day. Like he has to go. And after it had been a week of that not happening, also now at the end of the week where now I'm quitting, that's when they are like, okay, we have to treat him for Kawasaki disease, which is like if you have Kawasaki disease, pretty much they have a 25% chance of having a heart aneurysm, which is scary.
That's those are not
so
good odds.
they did.
Sounds like you did some googling.
No, the doctors actually
okay,
were.
okay.
No, they were great, man. The doctors and the nurses there were awesome.
This is still at Queensway?
No, this is a Chio.
It's Chio now.
Chio is crazy, man.
Come on,
Chio is
like,
amazing.
You know,
And
the one
we're
where
so
the-
lucky to have that right here in the city, bro. Like,
Yeah.
because there's like kids that literally have to travel across the country,
Bro, every
if they
time
have to get there.
there's even like Toronto sick kids and shit like that, but even then like it's like we have it like right here.
But if you
know?
lived in like Cornwall or something, like
But the thing is I just want to say real quick about Chio is every fucking time. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear because I'm not upset about it. I'm just getting excited. But every
Just
time
your
I
vernacular.
go to yeah, good word too. But every time I go to the cash and they're like, "Oh, you want to donate?" I'm like, "No." Wait, what is it? Like Chio. Yeah. Here you go. Because usually I'm like, like fuck off. The last place asked me, I gave them $2. You know, fuck, like whatever. Heart disease. I think that was the last one. You know, whatever. But I'm like Chio. I'm like, yeah.
I'm good on that, man.
Even if I just gave them $5 at the liquor store, I'm like, the next place, like, go to Walmart, like, it's Chio. I'm like, yes, here you go, take the money. Because, like, I went there whenever I was a kid and shit, too. And, like,
Yeah.
but regardless of me being there, I just think it's a great thing, right? And it's, like, whatever I can do to, like...
Oh, man, but they
make
were, like,
that-
consistently like, oh, like,
Sorry, yeah.
what can we get him? Can we get him a Switch? Does he want, like, a Nintendo? And I was like, well, I brought my N64. Like, he loves that.
Yeah.
Bro, I have a Switch, okay? My kid will go on my Switch to go to, like, the Super Nintendo emulator to play the old-ass Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
He loves the old
Man,
games,
those,
bro. And
those
I'm like,
games are way
yo,
better, bro.
You can never try to tell me this is not my son.
Airbnb and they had old school Nintendo. We played the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
Mario World or whatever
Yeah,
with my
yeah,
little
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He loved it.
But yeah, so back to the story. They did pretty much this thing was kind of like a blood transfusion, but like
Okay.
I don't know, it's like this white kind of I don't know. It adds these. Pretty much what it does is it lowers the chance of him of the heart aneurysm from 25% to 5%. So to my knowledge, he still has 5% chance of having a heart aneurysm, but I don't think it's gonna happen because I don't want to think that it's gonna happen.
Right.
No. Also, too, you have this thing on your neck. Does that have anything to do with the church thing you're talking about?
So it's Mary.
Okay.
It's Mary on there.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Or I don't know. What do you say?
I don't know.
R.I.P. or something.
No, R.I.P.
I don't know.
No, you
I don't
can't-
know. You
can't-
guys did this
you
to
can't,
me.
You can't say
I didn't
R.I.P.
do shit.
because different scholars and historians who study Christianity, there are theories because there's no documentation of Mary dying.
She's still alive.
Not like that. No,
Okay,
there
okay.
are theories
Sorry.
of because there are people throughout the Bible who got taken they without dying got taken up to heaven, like Enoch, and oh my gosh, Elijah. Yes, Elijah.
It's funny because whenever you said Enoch, I automatically think of Elijah, but I had no clue why. I don't have
the book
connection.
of Enoch is a really I'm saying this. I haven't actually like fully read it. I've read parts of it and just watched people talk about it. It's because it's not. I don't know why it's not in the. It's not in most versions of the Bible, but it's in the. I don't know if it's in the Torah or in the Talmud, but
What are those?
the Torah is the first 5 books of so it's the Hebrew Bible is what they call it. I don't know why I'm doing
Okay,
quotation.
yeah.
It's the first 5 books of the Hebrew It's the Hebrew Bible, which is the first 5 books of the Bible. So like
Okay.
Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus.
Oh, the Old Testament. The Old Testament
why
type
am I
shit?
forgetting? Yeah, so pretty much the books of Moses, what Moses wrote or spoke about.
Tablets?
The tablets.
No, I don't know. That is something to do with Moses, I think. But
Yeah, but no. The tablets were the 10 Commandments, which are like the 10 big rules. But no, they had Jewish
he
people.
did other stuff.
Jewish people who at the time wouldn't have been called Jewish people. They would have just been.
They would have just been.
The people who follow the God of Abraham, the Israelites, I guess they
Yeah.
would have been, because
Okay.
Jacob had already, depending what part. But
Jacob's
anyway,
ladder.
Jacob came after Abraham, but
Jacob's
before
ladder.
Moses. But yes, because Jacob's son Joseph
Sorry, man.
is the one who who was in Egypt and brought the family into Egypt.
You've like really been studying this.
Bro, I'm trying to get my PhD in religious studies.
Okay,
I'm, like,
and that's
really,
okay.
like,
I didn't know that. Okay, so
yeah,
then
yeah.
so then really I should have asked that question because I was gonna ask you what you're doing in school. We were talking about it, but I didn't know what you were doing. So
Just completely out of curiosity here. Sorry to cut you
No,
off there,
no,
but I
that's-
want to know what the prospects are for something like religious. What did you say?
religious studies.
Studies? Yeah. What's the prospect for something like that?
What do you mean prospect?
Like what's the like the goal, the destination, like the
Yeah.
Oh, like what do I want to do with it?
right.
So, for one, I'll be a professor in universities.
okay.
But I also want to be an apologist, which no, it's not someone who just says sorry.
I was like, bro.
yeah. I know.
You're
Everybody,
Canadian. I think we're all
everybody.
apologists here. Right?
That's a good one. I like that. No, an apologist is like someone who pretty much explains and debates and answers the questions.
Is it
so
spelled like apology, like apologist?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
Google the actual definition. There's a lot of apologists that I follow, To be completely honest, I don't really know how apologists, like how a non-famous apologist would make his money off
Yeah, I
of
was
just
gonna
being an
say-
apologist.
So, but how would a famous one make their money? They get
Well,
paid to
because
show up and
so
talk?
one of my favorite apologists.
Okay, wait one
uh,
sec. A person who offers an argument in defense of something controversial.
Yeah,
Critics said he was an apologist for colonialism.
yeah. So I want to be more of a Christian apologist.
Okay.
So Wesley Huff, who is one of my favorite apologists.
He was just on Joe Rogan.
Yes.
Oh, was he?
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So he had a debate with Billy Carson. You know who Billy Carson is?
No.
He's the black guy.
Yeah, the black guy who's always like trying to
I'm going to watch
debunk.
that,
He's always trying to debunk Christianity.
Okay.
Right.
And he did a debate with Wesley Huff, and like everything that he would bring up, Wesley's like bro, he'd bring up things and be like, well, in the Codex Sinaiticus, and Wesley Huff's like, he has like all these books behind him, pulls out the book, he's like, where does it say that? And he's like, well, oh, you know, according to like the Gospel of Barnabas, and he's like, well, the Gospel of Barnabas is like a known forgery because blah 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 blah, and like everything he'd bring up, you like you. Pretty
It's
much
easy
made it
to
like
sound
you just watch
smart to
video.
someone that doesn't know shit about it, right?
Exactly.
So like he's
But
just
he
like,
knows
if
he
he
knows
knows like a
everything,
few like
bro, like-
names and dates and says things in a like a convincing way, you know, like he can
Yeah.
make
But
a
that's
really good
what he's really
argument
good
about.
at. That's what Billy Carson is so good at. And so like going against like Wesley Huff of all people, Wesley Huff is just like, how do I? You ever watch like Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, he's
sometimes.
like Sheldon for like Christian stuff. Like he knows everything, not just like by
Yeah.
the book. Like he knows how to create like tablets. Like you know, knows how to read them. Like
Yeah.
those ancient languages. Like,
like
he just
iPads and shit.
yeah, bro. He just like knows it all,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Not iPads.
No,
I didn't even catch
I
that.
know,
Screen.
yeah.
I
But-
said yeah too.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's not like it's almost like like even just how you were saying, like when the other guy would bring shit up, he would be like, "Oh, this. I know that this guy."
Boy, and he was
is
like this.
It's like he knows everything, like all the stuff outside of just this like linear like story.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if Billy Carson just let it be, just a debate on its own. But what happened was Billy Carson was like, you can't air you can't post it. So then it was like, everyone's like, where's the podcast? And then people have to say that, oh, Billy Carson won't let us post it, which then made everyone like, now we really want to see it. How badly did he mess up that he doesn't want us to see it? So then he went and tried to sue Wesley Huff and the guy who set it up, which then made it like huge. And then it was like, okay, we're not gonna respect you just asked us not to post it, and we didn't. But now you're like threatening to sue us. Like, okay, we're just gonna post it. Like, so they did, and then now there's like all this anxiety of wanting to like see it through people who probably wouldn't have ended up watching it. People who probably would have just watched people talk about it. Now they're like, I have to see this. I need to see what happened in this interview that made Billy Carson that like.
Is it out
paranoid
there
about it.
now, or
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out there. And then Billy Carson came out with like I don't know if it was an hour or 3 hour, a very long video, trying to like defend himself, saying like he was sick, like he wasn't ready, he didn't know that Wesley Huff was gonna be the all these like really dumb things. But that pretty much made the whole thing just blow up to the point that because Wesley Huff or Billy Carson was going on everybody's podcast.
Right, I saw
talking
him on
his stuff.
TikTok all over the
Yeah,
over the
you
place,
like
so.
if you see a picture of him, you'd be like, oh, that guy. So now
Billy
now it's
Carson?
like now it's like everybody wants to interview Wesley Huff. So yeah, he was on Joe Rogan. He was on Pat McDavid.
Pat McAfee.
No, Bet David.
This guy looks
Oh,
familiar.
if my brother sees
but-
this, he's gonna kill me.
This guy does look familiar, but he also looks like other people that look like him.
Okay.
He also looks like other people that look like him. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I don't know. And the Huff guy, what's his name?
Wesley Huff.
Wesley Huff. Okay, so here's the thing:
You gotta pronounce that Wesley.
is it
Wesley.
so you know? It seems like you know a lot about. It's funny because both their names came out whenever I typed in Wesley Huff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah, I'm sure they would.
But it seems like you know a lot about the Bible verse and all this.
You follow the King James only?
I just
No.
My question was
Actually, I don't.
King James is the.
So
is the
I
way to
was
go.
I was raised as a Maronite Catholic Christian, but
I was just trying to
that's
make a
not.
joke.
What?
I was just trying to make a joke. I was trying to be like, you know a lot about the Bible verse, you know, like, so was Jesus white?
Historically, he couldn't have been white. That doesn't make any sense.
I know. That's
He
the
would
joke.
have. No, he would have had to been Middle Eastern. But
But anyway,
I'm sure you've met some Middle Easterns who look pretty damn white.
That's true. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
have definitely.
So like you know, I've
But-
also seen like there's I've been to Lebanon a bunch of times. There's people who are like pretty. They're black.
yeah,
It's hair, everything about them. Because people migrate around like all those areas.
Well, one of my
Egypt's right
buddies-
there.
one of my
Egypt's in
buddies
Africa.
is
You know
half
what I mean?
Jamaican and he is white. Like if you saw him, he's white. But like all his features, his hair, everything. But I feel like I took you off the track there. You were talking about. I actually want to know what you were saying. You were raised in what religion?
Oh yeah, so I was raised in Maronite Catholic
How
Christian.
How is that different? Or like what makes that?
Okay,
I don't think
so
Maronite? I don't
Maronites,
think I've ever heard that one.
Maronites, okay, so when Catholics and Orthodox were pretty much splitting, in the Middle Ages, the Maronites were kind of off in another area, but they had the same knowledge of like the Catholics, and they were still loyal essentially to the Pope, like the Catholic Pope. So that's why they would be still Maronite Catholic. The only difference between us and other Catholics is there's a saint that we believe in that Catholics don't think is a saint, and we're like, yeah, he is.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's how I was raised, and I'm not opposing that in any way. But I don't go about learning this stuff in a Catholic way. I go about it in just learning it, and I don't really care for Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant.
Like you have
what
a
I
neutral
always tell-
stance on it, basically.
No,
Are you-
it's Christian. It's just you believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like that's and whatever people like get into that with me, I'm always just like, yo, just read the Bible and just do what you think it's telling you to do. Like just
yeah.
take it how you're reading it. You can do your own research and learn that, but don't go off on like Protestants will be very angry at Catholics
Damn
for
Protestants,
the
man.
fact that we have
No.
saints, and some Catholics pray to the saints.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to pray to them. I don't think you're supposed to pray to the saints. I think you're supposed to ask them to.
What about Saint
to
Anthony,
intercede.
man? That motherfucker finds your shit all the time. man.
Yeah, Saint Anthony, please look around. Something's lost, cannot be found. I know.
Who knows? Who knows?
I used that because I lost a textbook once, and they wanted to charge me, and then I used that, and then I found it.
That's right. He's got your back, man. He doesn't want you
So
paying the
the
tax
idea
man.
of praying to saints comes from like asking for their intercession,
Mm.
But
Because they all have their specific reason, though, or their specific thing.
and okay, so in a sense, when Jesus said, when you pray by if you pray on your own, then okay. But
Jesus said this?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like when one person
So
prays.
he's real?
100% Okay, Jesus.
Sorry,
like, the
man.
guy,
I shouldn't be
let's go,
making
let's go.
jokes because
the
I
guy,
also want to
the guy,
know this.
Jesus, the guy existed. There was a guy named Jesus
Yeah.
who made a really big following, and he was teaching all this stuff, and he was a mystical. Did some people
He was
call
an
him?
influencer.
Yeah, essentially for that time. Some people call him a
stop.
magician or a sorcerer or a mystic because he was doing things that were like he was healing people.
He was
and
fucking
stuff
like Chris Angel of his day.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or Tony
in a
Robbins.
sense.
Maybe.
And he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. Like these are like atheistic historians that have written about him and written this. There's like
Yeah.
there's more written about Jesus than any other person in that day. So it's like if someone's gonna be like, I don't think Jesus existed, it's like, okay, but do you believe Caesar existed? Because there's like half as much written about Caesar than there was
Yeah.
Jesus, and that was like an emperor. An emperor of Rome has less
Yeah.
written about him than this guy. This guy who, made that big of an impact. So anyway,
You know what's sorry again to cut you off, and I maybe as a historian you might be able to point me in the right direction
that's
on
the
this
first
one.
time someone called me a historian. That's cool.
Or like you know what I mean, whatever. So we know, like we were all told about the time when Jesus was born, right? Like that's like a big deal,
Uh-huh.
right? And then we're all told about like the time when he was in his early 30s.
33.
Yeah,
When
when
he
he was
died?
doing his whole thing,
Yeah.
right? There's I don't know. I mean, maybe
There's
I'm just
very little written about the
about his entire life, actually.
There's
Right?
like stories of him as a kid.
There's
'Cause
there's
stories of him like doing teachings in the like his
in
mom
the temple,
found him
yeah.
in the fucking temple, and he's like teaching all these fucking like adults and shit, like people in the church. He was teaching them all this stuff.
Right.
And-
So as someone that has very like let's say a fringe sort of view of religion. Like I'm not a religious person by any means.
Yeah.
But I've been exposed to it and like in my early childhood, obviously, and like yeah. But my personal take on it is that, like you said, he was a real dude. He was a very influential person who realized that there was corruption in the church of the time. There was money changing and usury going on, and there was people like emperors and people taking more than their fair share and not giving to that. So we're kind of in those same times right now, right? Where our money is broken and
Ooh,
we're
he's coming back.
Okay.
maybe.
So
But I just think personally
hold that thought
if-
because I have something about
so
that.
most Christians believe that Jesus was God incarnate, right? He wasn't the Son of God. He was God himself become man.
Oh, do you want me to like
Right?
you
So-
you want me to explain the Trinity? Is that where you're getting at?
Well, I'm just kind of trying to like piece all from the little information that I have, right? Like the story of Christianity, because it is like incredibly interesting to me that this story has existed for several thousand years.
Longer than Santa
And
Claus.
right, and it's just like there has to be something to it, right? To just dismiss religion and Christianity and these stories, to me it seems foolish, right? But I don't believe that there's like this God that exists
floating on a
somewhere. Well,
cloud,
not
like-
necessarily like that, because that's kind of like what the image that you give to kids, right, to explain it.
Yeah.
But like, even if there was like some sort of deity or like presence or consciousness or whatever you want to fucking call it that existed, I don't think that it's like all these Christian rules that we have to.
Because they believe he created everything too, right?
Well, sure,
That
even
would-
if he
no,
did.
I'm just saying that would mean that there would have to have been some consciousness at some point that went, like this is how trees work, like this is how frogs work, like this is.
And
how
doesn't that
you
make
know,
more
like, and
sense
this and
than-
this.
Doesn't that make more sense than the idea of consciousness coming from unconsciousness? And
No,
creation
no.
coming out of uncreationness.
I believe in a
life coming
power.
from
I
no
believe in a
life.
power and energy.
Yeah, but so
where
that's the
everything
thing.
goes
So,
back into this
what if
energy.
like
Sorry,
so?
man, I cut you off.
No,
on
no,
your
it's
thing,
fine.
yeah.
And I like this. I love this like thought experiments, because to
So
me, like
different than what I was
consciousness
expecting to
is
do.
the only thing. Like you can call it God, Jesus, fucking Buddha, whatever the fuck religion you are. If you believe in a higher
When I
power,
pray, I literally say, God, Jesus, Mom, whoever the fuck you are. I
It's
seriously
exactly
say
that,
I'm like,
right?
whatever the fuck's
So-
out there, like.
I think the only thing that is that has forever existed, right? That is existence itself is consciousness, right? Consciousness has always been, right? It's the only thing that ever has existed. It's the only thing that has the property of existence, right? Non-existence doesn't exist.
But
So hold on, let me finish this
Okay,
thought.
wait, yeah,
So-
no, that's,
Consciousness is the only thing that is, right? And in order to understand what it is within itself, it has to create like something to experience, right? So it has to create some kind of reality. And so sorry, I was just thrown off.
yeah.
So consciousness is the only thing that ever is, right? It creates existence in order to experience what it is, right? So maybe that is the story of, you know, God creating.
Okay, wait, what was the last
Jesus.
thing you just said? You said it is consciousness?
Consciousness is the only thing that has ever existed, right? It's the only thing that has permanence. It's the only
Yeah.
thing that is just forever, right? And
the
in
way you're
order to
describing
understand
is the same way we describe God.
God, right? So that's my
Yeah.
point. My point is that there's something to religion, right? But I don't believe that if if you don't live by a certain set of rules or you don't pray at a certain, that you're going to go to hell, or
that's not what it is though.
But this is what we're taught though, right? Is that if you're going to burn forever in eternity if you don't believe in Jesus.
No. See, you're wording it wrong. It's not if you don't believe, it's if you choose to not want to be with God, then don't be and go to the other place. If you
but what is the other place? There is no other place. That's
hell.
My point.
It is hell, or there's purgatory. But here's the thing: there's no set of rules.
You firmly believe in a heaven and hell?
Yeah, 100%.
And then in between,
100%.
Yeah,
yeah. There's purgatory. There's different levels of hell.
That's where
there's black, white, and gray. You have the whole thing.
Bro, there's colors and everything. There's 7 levels of heaven. There's 5 levels of hell. All these things. These are these are different theories. So these aren't biblical things. These are
That's your
based
own
on no, not my. These are based on okay, so like in the book of Enoch goes up, and that's where we get the idea of what heaven is like. Hell comes from a few different sources. One could be like the book of Nicodemus. Nicodemus was the Pharisee that went and visited Jesus when Jesus was alive, obviously, and he speaks about Jesus' descent into hell when he died for 3 days and came back. Now, in
Jesus
terms
went
of,
to hell in that time?
Yeah, he went to the other side, and he was saving souls, and he was opening doors pretty much. He made it pretty. So here's.
I never saw that episode, man.
Yeah.
So listen.
Holy fuck! Okay.
When Adam committed the original sin, you have to understand that the punishment for sin is death. Okay, not death like boom, you die when you commit a sin. It's the death of your soul. Okay, where your soul is going to be dead.
What was it? I thought it was Eve that was it not Eve?
No,
Eve convinced Adam to do it.
Yeah. Oh right, okay. That's
so
always right. Do, man.
It was the hey. So that was the tree of knowledge. So before that, like even animals wouldn't eat each other. They would what it says in the Bible was there was the green meat on the trees. So they wouldn't even have the idea of wanting to. You wouldn't even think of wanting to do wrong things. Like they didn't even know that they were naked. You get what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's if you didn't know any different, then you don't know. Yeah.
So this turns into this whole thing. So after they leave, Adam and Eve have children. There's Cain, Abel, and Seth. Cain kills Abel.
Wait, that was their children?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So, Cain has to go wander. There's the fallen angels, which are the ones that followed the devil when he tried to go against God. So they're sentenced to pretty much look over earth. They get infatuated by the women. They start impregnating the women. The women are giving birth to just abominable creatures, giants, and just, they teach them how to create weapons and build civilizations and yada yada. Seth's line are the ones who still keep God's word and blah blah blah. Noah comes from Seth's line. This leads into the flood. Why was the world? It's like the world became like an abomination.
What's the Seth's line?
Seth was. They had 3 sons. They had some daughters.
When you say Seth's line, you mean
his
bloodline?
Okay, sorry.
So from Seth,
I thought that was
Enoch
a separate
came from
branch
Seth, and there was actually Cain also had a son named Enoch, but that's a different Enoch. Anyway, going back to the whole set of rules. So the way I see it, after reading the Gospels 4 times each and doing whatever research, the question that kind of gets asked a lot is: are we saved by our faith or by our works? Paul makes it pretty clear that we're saved by our
works.
By our
works or your faith. So your good deeds or just your faith alone, right?
So
that's my biggest thing, right?
So no, it's the faith. It's the faith that saves you. It's not. There's no book of rules of this is. It's just, do you believe in Jesus? And if you believe in someone and you love this person for the sacrifice he did, that when you really understand the whole him dying on the cross, what it means, and all of it. Then you okay. You love your dad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say there's something that your dad absolutely hates.
Yeah.
He hates, not he doesn't like when you drink, something he hates.
Yeah.
Okay? You kind of probably don't want to do that thing. Even if you want to do it, you probably won't because you don't want to upset your dad because you love him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in the same thing. You don't want to commit these sins because you love Jesus. and you appreciate what he did for you. So then the more you get closer to it, the more you learn about it, the more you're like, wow, he really did that for me. The more you start to feel guilty
You're like, I don't want
about
to
the
jerk off. I
sins.
know he's watching. And I don't want to disappoint my dad at the same time.
But you do it anyway.
But so the but
Sorry, man.
that's the
But
thing.
that's-
So the whole reason why Jesus came was because we could never do it. We can never not sin. We can't live a
Yeah.
life with not sinning.
Right.
So that's why Jesus came and
Because
lived
there's
a
no
sinless
such thing.
life. And first of all, you gotta understand what crucifixion was in that day. Crucifixion was given to like the most horrendous criminals. It was the most like humiliating kind of death that you could possibly have. On
Yeah,
top
so-
of that, like all the extra shit that they did, making him carry the cross up, whipping him, tearing off his clothes, passing it around, the crown of thorns, putting aside the King of the Jews over just to mock him, like
Yeah.
all this stuff. When he was thirsty, they went to give him vinegar with wine instead of giving him water. And the thing is, all of this is talked about in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Like it's all like King David writes a psalm. So when Jesus on the cross and he says, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Everyone's like, "Oh, because God, why would God let that happen?" That's not what's happening. He's just fulfilling another prophecy of when King David wrote a poem saying, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Serge,
I have holes."
thank you.
He says, "I have holes in my hands, a hole in my side, and holes in my feet. They have whipped my back. They have torn my clothes off and passed them among them. They spit on me and mocked me." Like this is King David, like
And
way
he wrote-
before he's writing this, and this now happened to Jesus, and now Jesus is saying that, but also symbolizing that in this moment he's taking on all of like everybody's sin, all the murders, all the rapes, all the pedophilia, the stealing,
Okay.
he's taking it all
We
on
talked about-
and dying with those sins, so that because we can't do it. The punishment for sin is death.
Yeah.
And Jesus is the sacrificial
like-
lamb, and Abraham says the Father will provide his own lamb. It all like
Okay, but here's the thing.
So that's a
I
great
said this-
story, right? That's a great like analogy of something that instills
but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
a
Here's the thing.
good
If-
morals,
Do you,
right?
So do you think the Bible was written by like a guy? who
No,
sac-
it was written by a lot of people
Okay, but when you take
over
the
a
fact-
long period of time. I
long
might
period
add.
of time,
Oh, it's like the
and
poker
from
Bible.
from different continents and stuff, right? Okay, there's 60,000 cross references.
And there's okay, so
There's no book with like even like touching close to that amount of cross references. Like
okay,
Lord
so
of the Rings,
because the
no
cross was
anime-
used, the cross was used as a torture device.
No.
More
Cross
like
references.
Oh, I was like, what?
Like,
I was like,
here.
of course they mentioned the cross,
Let me
like
tell
it
you what I'm
existed.
talking
I thought that at the same at first too. I was like, yeah, fucking cross references. I've seen vampire movies with cross references. But yeah, like they
So
have.
I'll show
but,
you what I mean.
But shit, no, I forget. Yeah. It's gone.
Okay, so
Like I'm not doubting that those things
Can-
happened, right?
Oh yeah, remember I said this on the last
okay, do you
episode.
see that?
Remember
You
I
see
said
that?
this.
Look up at the screen. That's kind of blurry. What's that?
Try moving in slowly. Or might try this.
It was clear at first.
You know, I might fuck it up, but no.
Anyways, just explain
Anyways,
what you're
yeah.
looking
What's
at.
it? What is it? What's
Oh,
it?
there. Look. Oh,
I see like energy lines.
those are all the cross references in the Bible. That's how many there. Hold on, we'll try it again.
Oh,
Oh,
I
right,
see,
okay.
I see.
Okay,
yeah.
you see? Like,
Okay,
bro,
so-
you could not make that. You couldn't
Yo,
just like
I was-
do that. You know what I mean?
So,
I was
the things
saying
happened,
this-
right? That's no one's debating that they happened, right? So the cross references in the Bible that you're referring to, I'm sure are
Not
Of-
references of the cross, though.
no,
You get what I'm
no.
saying?
The cross, right? But I'm talking about like I'm sure they're just like dates and names and like historical
like
things happening. And
prophecies. Yeah,
how do you
Those
cross
things-
reference a prophecy?
when it happens. Jesus fulfilled over 300 prophecies that were spoken about in the Old Testament. From like the way he died to
Like you said, even the home.
So
thing.
what about all the
walking
other-
into Jerusalem on a donkey and people praising him with palm trees? Like,
So those same prophecies have been
On
apparently
Sunday?
fulfilled in other like Egyptian cultures and like further ancient cultures.
yeah,
You
not
know,
like that, bro. That's over 300 from one guy.
I mean, I
Like
guess
one
maybe I
lifetime.
don't. Again, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know the dates and the names. I'm
But
not.
sorry,
Yeah.
this was all to get to your original question. So, in my personal belief, this isn't every Christian's belief, but in my personal belief, there's not, as long as you have faith in Christ and you're asking for forgiveness, then like you're good. Because that's what Jesus said. He just said like you got to believe in me. Now, I don't think that you go like straight up to heaven. I believe in purgatory, which not all Christians do. That's a whole other argument. Purgatory is essentially where you would go to purify yourself, essentially, or like work off your sins to be able to go into heaven. Because it's like,
But that goes
That's
against
where we
your.
are, then.
But working off your sins goes against your whole good deeds things, right?
no, because
Yeah,
you're like
well,
you're
but
praying,
works.
you're
But
repenting,
this is
you're
what
like
I've been trying to say. Is
you're,
I said this on the last episode too. Is that like, like I was a kid, right? So like I'm learning about fucking church and stuff, right? And they're like, Jesus died for your sins, and like, so and like I know that that's not what it means, but you can take it like.
he
Oh,
died
so
for
I
the
can sin because
possibility-
he already like it's like he already went to jail for that shit, man. So I could fucking I can do those things, right?
Yeah, you're free to do as much as
So
you
it's
want.
like and then
But
if I just go and if I just go and confess my sins and I feel bad about it, then
Yes,
like
yo,
I'm
if
good
you,
to go.
If you,
Like
if
man,
you commit
this,
a crime, and I'm like, yo,
But a crime or a
let's
sin?
let's say you keep robbing these places. You keep robbing. You rob this store. You rob that store. You rob that bank. You rob that bank. You rob that bank. Now you got caught, but they don't know who. But you got caught, and I'm like, yo, listen, I'm gonna take the rap for you. Stop robbing. Would you not be a huge fucking asshole if you continued to rob after that?
yeah, wow.
So you know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point. It's like, don't sin because, bro, he's
Right.
taking the rap for you.
So it's a
But-
great analogy, right? It's a great story. So if you actually believe that God, the creator of all things,
Shit, man.
turned himself into a human
He
being,
didn't turn himself into a human being.
or
That's-
turned himself into
No, no, no.
like he like he
You gotta
did though,
understand-
because he was a
No.
human being. He was
So
born by a
listen,
woman, and he grew
God
up and he
has
lived a
three
life. So
parts.
of course
God-
he was a human being.
But God has three parts. So Jesus has always been
This is the Holy
the
Trinity
go.
you're talking about?
Yeah. So Jesus has always been the go. But the Father is the one that you pray to. He's the one who's up there. He's the one who does the power parts. Jesus has always been the go between. He's in Adam and Eve. When it says God was walking through the garden and he's like, that would have been Jesus.
So do you believe
And
then?
the
No,
Holy
so
Spirit-
we've only been here for 6,000 years.
So that's
What about
a few months ago I would have
Situational.
said yes, but I've learned also the word for day in Hebrew doesn't mean day. It can mean day. It can mean week. It can mean years. It can mean century. It's just a point in time.
So then you're that then. It must be really easy to interpret this thing many different ways and get the story
Yeah.
that you're. So that is my point: is that these stories have very good moral underpinnings of how to live a good life as a moral human being, right?
yeah,
and I think those should be followed.
Calling it a story would mean that someone would have had to write it.
They
And it-
did write it. What are you talking about?
Bro, do you understand what kind of genius it would have to take to write the Bible?
They did. What do you mean? They did. It's written by human beings. It
No.
was written.
It's a library of books. It's not one guy
all
who
written
sat
by
down
human beings.
by all these different ones
Sure.
through a span of, there's no way that all of them have that many cross references by
He
accident.
thinks when you say written that the story was made up. You're
No, I'm
you're
just
it was
saying-
written,
but
but
it's-
he's
so
just
it's-
saying that
it's-
someone had to take the time to put all of these stories on the paper.
No one
and
could
make
ever
it
do that, bro.
written.
There's
no,
there's
you
never
did.
been a book
You're
like that
thinking-
ever.
You're thinking he's saying that they made the story up, but he's
Yeah.
saying that someone would have had to write the story. Like if you tell me a story,
yeah, people
if you tell
wrote
me a
it,
Right.
story,
Yeah. So
it
you're,
doesn't
you're
exist
misunderstanding.
until
This is
I
so.
write
This
it.
is the issue with fucking religious people. It's
no, it's the
incredibly
way you're
hard to-
saying
to-
it. It's
No, right.
No, but
Sorry,
he was
that's-
just
fucking
saying it
religious
was
people.
written.
This guy.
It was just
Um,
saying it was written down at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my point is that somewhere along the line, we human beings evolved and we developed communities and we developed ways to tell stories and ways to pass down information and
Mhm.
good knowledge and ways of living, to our kids, right? If you really think that the world, I'm not saying you do, but it's certainly out there that creationists believe that the world is only 6,000 years old. Evolution isn't a thing. There was no dinosaurs.
Oh no, I
You
believe,
know.
but they talk about dinosaurs in the Bible.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well,
I don't believe we came from apes. I think that's bonkers.
how? Okay.
But there's more evidence against it than there is for it. I've studied.
If I
looked
might
at that
say,
shit
I
too.
always, I was a Protestant, raised a Protestant, and turned Catholic.
My dad, everyone.
Church, and I've been studying all this from different people, so it's just my opinion and their opinion, okay?
Yeah.
But if there's this consciousness, and that is here and now, this and that, and then there's a subconscious. And that subconscious is connected to a huge energy, which we call God or Allah or whatever you want to call it.
It's kinda
can
like
call
what
it
you were
a
saying.
book or a
Yeah.
ball or whatever. But it's just that it's and I believe, like with Jesus, he found nirvana. He actually was a human being who ended up, whether it was God or, but the energy got in him, and he found nirvana, and that's what we're going for. And like you talk about sins, I think that if I'm an asshole all the way through my life, then what you call purgatory or starting, I believe in reincarnation, and I'd be reincarnated into a guy that had problems because I made problems. But then if I'm a nice guy, well, then I get rewarded by being reincarnated, maybe to the same
So
life,
that's,
whatever, to recorrect it.
It's very Buddhist thinking.
Yes.
Buddhists also exactly what you said when they refer to Jesus, they say that he was not Buddha, but another like Buddha who had reached that enlightenment before death, kind of
Didn't
thing.
So that's why I say I think we're all capable, right? And then Jesus teaches this as well. I think is that we can all be Christ-like, right?
Christ-like, but
So
No, Jesus did say in the Bible, I'd heard this from somewhere, but anyway, that he was saying that you are God. Like, you're God.
I believe,
You're
yeah,
God. You're not my
I
God.
said this
You're
last
your
time too.
God. So I control myself. So if I want to be a decent human being, I don't just go by something out there and saying, make me a good person. No, I have to do it. I have to do the work. And my subconscious tells me to do that. And my subconscious is connected to what we call God. Everybody hates to say the word God. You can call it whatever you want. Book, crayon. And I've actually had this work where I gave a girl, she was supposed to die here 8 years ago, and my sister's friend. And I had a medallion on whatever this is, the saint of cancer is. And I took it off and I gave it to her and I said, you hold on to that. And I said, put it around your neck and see what happens. And made her believe in it. She's alive now. And my sister came back to visit her because she knew she was dying. But so those are my beliefs. And it's sort of more scientific.
yeah.
But then I'm into stuff that people don't understand, like Qigong.
Well,
and-
science originally was would cooperate with the religions, and they were kind of one in one.
and I don't know.
until they weren't.
Well, yeah,
and
I
then it
think
was
that
like
was-
a whole flip. Now it's like if you
That's
if
where you
you're a
come into like the whole
scientist-
Illuminati thing is because the science and
no,
church.
it's not an Illuminati.
No,
thing.
but
It's
if you actually look at history and how the church developed, there was real study going on, right? Real science and people trying to figure out how the stars and all this stuff worked, right? And then a lot of that stuff had to go underground because it became not good to talk about those things, right?
That's not true, because the Muslims were actually doing a lot of astrology research and everything. That's just modern myth stuff. No, Catholics didn't believe in it and would tell their followers, nah, that's bullshit. But they didn't stop scientists from doing science. They ended up working with them once they pretty much were like, okay, yeah, you know what? There are like some more things, Then they started working with them. And most of what science was doing was helping the stories of the Bible until they weren't. Then you had Darwin and all this stuff. Now it's literally what you're saying, but the opposite. If you're a scientist right now and you believe in creation, there's a whole petition right now in the science world trying to make you lose your license to be able to study science and to be able to do research. That's right
if
now.
you believe in creationism.
If you believe in creationism over evolution, they're trying to say you should lose, like, I don't know what it's called, your science license?
I
don't
guess
know
it
what it's
depends
called,
on
but
what
you know,
your
like,
what
your
your
right to. That's like right now. This is currently happening.
right.
So like what you're just saying that the Catholics did, like no, science is doing it right now.
Well, sure. I'm just saying, like,
and
but
like,
in
and
the,
hold on, hold on.
the early church.
And what
is
I will
I'm
say,
saying,
what I
yeah.
will say it'll flip a whole bunch of times between different everything. Because you're talking about like the elites of shit, and this is what I always like. Whenever people, I'm like, don't focus on Christian. Like, if you want to be Christian, don't focus on Christians. Focus on what it is itself. You know, like I hate to say, like I don't like.
You don't like what?
The Pope.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
He says things that are like
don't whisper.
clearly not what the Bible says. You know what I mean?
The church, the modern day church, the Vatican.
The fact that the Vatican is
It's
like
evil,
covered in
bro.
gold.
It's
like,
evil.
Yeah,
bro,
that
that's
is
so
a
like,
house of
like bro,
evil.
if Jesus was alive right now and he walked into the Vatican, he'd be flipping tables again. He'd be
Exactly.
like, why
He
is
would be
this
kicking the
covered
money
in
changers
gold?
out of the
Yeah,
fucking
so-
church
so
again.
bro, I'm not about the elites of any particular group. I'm not about the elites.
Yeah.
Even if it's not Christian, if you want to follow anything, follow what it teaches and not what the leaders are telling you should do. Because the leaders will tell
And
you.
that's what I've been saying, is that there's a lot of good moral value and a lot of good stories that have been handed down to us to make us.
But the
pass
story,
down
the
and
stories
it's been
don't
very-
make you do
And I'm not a
a
follower.
lot of the stuff of what they.
You're not a follower?
I don't follow. You know what I mean? Like, I don't sit at religion, this religion, that religion, say, oh, yeah, no, that's great. I don't believe in anybody else but myself. But I'd mentioned earlier about the medallion. What I meant to say was it was the same thing as this. You can believe in anything, any object, and you can have magic happen. I've seen, there was a doctor, and he had a doctor friend from Africa come over, and he said, my son, he got a pebble off the beach, and he was playing with it. And the African doctor said, what's that all about? And he explained that,
I've heard
it's
this.
magic, or whatever, it's magical stone. And so he took it back, and he said, my son was ready to die within about 3 or 4 months. And he said, I had him hold that stone, and we believed in it, and just made it physically happen just by thought.
I've heard that story.
That's
So here's the thing.
This is the thing, right? We create, like, consciousness is the only thing that ever existed. We are all the same thing. There's no separation between any of us.
We are.
You're
right. I agree with that.
I want to take this because I want to try and I found a perfect way to try and bring this conversation to an end here.
We haven't talked about music,
I know. I was going to say we have a whole bunch of other things to talk about. But with what my dad was saying was. So for me, like how I was saying earlier, like, and I was even gonna say, let's do a shot. Can I do a little shot? I was gonna. So okay. I said earlier, I'm okay. I believe in like this. There's an energy somewhere, whatever. We all go back to it. When we die, we go back to it. When we're born, like a piece of that comes, and we're that, whatever. But my point is like, so what I'm trying to say is like, same thing he was trying to say, but do we all know what The Secret is? The movie The Secret?
Yes, yeah, we created it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that they're just telling you to like think and believe and like manifest things, right?
It's almost
so
like
the same way as he's talking about the rock or the thing or like whatever the fuck, or it's like Jesus or it's God or it's
whatever
the
you
blade
put
of
your belief
fucking
in.
grass. So it's just like you're putting in this concentration. Your prayer is that manifestation of like these good things or like whatever.
But
right?
the Bible actually does talk about all these. It talks about astrology and all that.
But what I'm trying to say is that they all it might even be kind of what you were trying to say earlier too. Is just that like all fucking religions are. They just like whatever it may be that thing. They're all just doing the exact same thing as The Secret is.
I don't
Right.
know.
It's just manifesting something in
Like,
just
I'm
in
literally
different
live right
ways.
now.
I believe in this one,
Yeah.
you believe in that one,
Okay.
or we believe in the same one in different ways, and it's like that. But it doesn't matter what that is or how you believe in it or whatever. It's that all you're doing is just having this positive manifestation, and it's not really about this fucking like it didn't have to be a pebble that was fucking blessed. Or anything, it was the fucking one the guy picked up and said, "This is the one." You know what I mean?
right.
Like it's just
and
like,
there also doesn't
you put
have
your
to be a
energy into it.
punishment for not believing in the right
That's
thing.
true too, though. Yeah,
Right?
But that's
If
the thing.
you just
It's not a punishment.
but no, think about
it's your choice,
bro. It is your choice.
Do you
But
want to
think
be
about
with God or not?
the likeliness.
Like-
So sure, I want to be with God. Why not? But like
Yeah,
the likeliness
that's it.
that you are a Christian or Catholic or whatever. Like if you were born in India, the likelihood that you would be.
Yeah. So hold up, because I know exactly where you're going
Or
with
if
this.
you were
Like,
just- if you were
or
born
what if
in the
you what
middle
if
of
you're a
the
baby who
fucking
died when you
jungle?
were before you were even a year old? Yes, I totally get where you're going with that because that's something that I think about a lot. I like to think that it's not just black and white like that. Like, God knows what you like. He knows your life. He knows what you know. He knows if like, nah,
He
like
knows
you
if you've been
do this,
sleeping.
like you chose to live separate from God. Like you believe God's there, but you chose to not want to live that way. Versus, okay, like this guy never had the opportunity to ever learn this. Like, you know,
So
I don't,
good for goodness.
because I mean the Bible talks about how God is just and He's fair, and it's, you know, like to a point where, like, you know, every like things need punishment and things need mercy and things need grace, and He justicely does that. Is justicely a word? Justifully?
Justifiably?
Just justifiably, yeah.
Is that the yeah?
Just,
I don't know.
yeah, justifiably.
The first one you said isn't the
Justicely
word.
slash justifiably
Justicely,
slash
yeah.
justfully. You know what I'm trying to say. But anyway,
Justfully might be the word, yeah.
justfully.
Just-
You're talking about
Yeah.
manifesting. I actually have manifested. Didn't know I'd done it.
Everybody has.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Everything
I-
I've done in this room right now has been a manifestation. Everything is a manifestation.
It depends
Sorry.
on the calmness of the mind, or that there's a certain frequency. Because I had a girl come over to me one time years ago, and she said to me, "What would you be doing if you weren't in the newspaper business?" And I said, 40,000. I just answered. I was busy, and I said $40,000 a year, company car sales, and forgot about it until about 5 years ago. And years ago, it was 3 months after talking to her that I was working for Christie for, it was $37,000 a year, company car every year, trip, and it was just fantastic, you know.
This is also in
It's
the
like
late 80s, everyone.
It's like you put it
Just so
out
you
there,
know.
you
Just
put
so
it
you
out
know.
there, and you work
Well,
towards
yeah,
it,
but I didn't
and then it
think-
comes
I
to
didn't
you.
think about it. I just said it,
Mhm.
and
Just put it out there. That's the thing, right? It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
Yeah, exactly. But I had actually done a little prayer there about 6 months ago, and I was saying, like, you know,
Say a little
I know
prayer for you.
I shouldn't
Sorry.
drink, you know, and I wasn't drinking a whole lot, not an alcoholic, but I just didn't believe in alcohol anymore. And I when I prayed, I said, I'm not going to stop because I don't know how to do it. I don't want to get exercising.
Cramp.
I've got to fix my body up, but I don't know how. Like, cause you a cramp?
Podcast cramps.
Something did.
Sorry, I've got powers.
But yeah, no, I would like to maybe bring it a little bit
the
back.
topic.
Yeah, we'll bring it back from the spiritual stuff, but on the same, I'm literally kind of on the same topic. But like, what made you want to like? I want to learn everything about this because like it seems like
Honestly, it's a really weird.
well, just because from the way it sounds, it doesn't sound like you're a professor. You could be a professor or you could be an apologist or
Oh,
whatever.
bro, I'm first year. I
I know. I
haven't even gotten into this for a
but
year
listen to
yet,
what I'm
like,
trying to
you know
say.
what I
What
mean?
I'm trying to say is usually people go, I'm going to go into this because there's good money in this, or I'm going to go into this for this reason. I feel like your reason is solely like personal. Because
Yeah, no, I
because I don't
really
feel like
want-
you're making a lot of money as a professor or like you're an apologist or whatever, you know.
No, I don't
Unless
know,
you're
man.
on Joe Rogan.
I really believe in it all, and I just want to preach it, kind of pretty
Okay.
much. It started, honestly, it started because they came out with that show, The Chosen, and I was watching it, and
What's it
like
about?
it's the life of Jesus.
Oh, say a word.
It's on Jesus, but like it's
I'm good on that.
like any religious show or movie, I always like take it with like a grain of salt because like, you know, they got to take creative kind of turns and aspects and whatever. So then I was like, okay, well, like
Yeah, it's
I
like
really like this
based-
show, you know,
Based
like
on a true story.
so then it was like, well, I want to know the story. So I was gonna just read the Gospels, which are just all like the biography, pretty much, of Jesus. But then I was like, you know, maybe I'll just read the whole Bible and just get the full story. And then it just kind of went from there. And then, you know, I was going to school originally to be an English and gym teacher. And then I was like, I'll be gym and religion. And then it was English and religion. And
You've
now
been
I'm
doing a
like,
lot of reading lately, eh?
Yeah.
I see you posted a couple of times. And one time you posted a thing, there was like 5 books on the table. I was like, shit, man. And
But
a
like, see,
laptop.
one of those books
What
was
are
like
you
the
doing?
Judaism book. You know, like I'm not
Yeah.
just, I'm researching, like, I want to learn it all that whole area, you know. It's religion, but I don't know. I think of myself more spiritual than religions because
Yeah,
like,
that's it, man.
There's what I came to in my thinking.
yeah, it's just religion is just like Jesus never came to like make a religion.
Mhm.
He just wanted to show a way of life and just believe in me, you know. But anyways, we should probably like talk about music and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait,
but yeah,
how,
no,
how long have we been on for?
an hour and something. I think.
Like an hour exactly.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
like probably like 40 minutes of that was probably this.
Yeah.
That's all good
Yo,
content.
I've
though.
never heard Jones talk this much in the fucking
That's true,
podcast
though,
before.
and I like it.
Well, fuck, man, you get me going on something.
Bro, I swear, whenever I'm out and like someone will be like, "Oh, you're in school. Like, what are you studying?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm trying to get my PhD in religious studies." Then there's always some sort of question, and I'm always just like, okay, before I answer this
Can I
question, I
answer it?
need you to understand that when I answer this question, which won't be a short answer, you're gonna have a question that follows up, and we're gonna talk about this for the next like 45 minutes to an hour. And they're like, no, I just want to know. I'm like, no. I'm telling you right now, this is what's gonna happen because it
Yeah.
happens every time. There's no like, you can't ask me a religious question. I give you an answer, and you're like, okay, cool.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna go
next
back to my
is-
night. Like,
right.
no, you can't. You asked me one question. We talked about it for 45 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, who the fuck is Ben? Oh, Ben. No, I'll call him back. That's my homie. Wow, I hope he doesn't see that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
always just like, yo, like, you sure you want to have this conversation with me right now? Because we're going to talk about it for a while.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, we're going to miss half the party. Like,
Actually, you know what? So I know a good way to change the topic of conversation.
Oh, good.
When you got here, you
Oh yeah. I
mentioned you wanted to
show some songs.
showcase some new tracks.
Yes,
Good
sir. Okay. All right. Okay. Nah, get my music mode now. Preacher mode. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll show you guys. It's called Clock Tower on the thing. It's actually called a toast because we're giving a toast to the days of the past and all the other things we'll give a toast to throughout the song. It's a very reminiscing song, very like, you know, remember how it used to be kind of, yeah. I recorded this just a few days ago.
Nice. Let's get into it.
To the days that we were young, ain't no one to tell us none. Just some misfits having fun, got some chaos and we run. Whoa, man, those were the days. Ain't had no direction, but we still walk through the maze. It's crazy how the younger me had so much courage to do some crazy dumb shit I never would encourage. No responsibilities, ain't no vision of defeat. Blurry vision, what we see, barely standing on our feet. Sometimes I like to take a minute, think about the past. Yeah, some days are bad, but I still wish
it's
they
not
would
mixed, by the
last.
way.
Sometimes I miss those days so much, I wish I could go back. Man, those days were such a blast. Let's give a toast to the days of the past, to the nights we don't remember, but we know they were a blast. Let's give a toast to the days of our youth, when we were hooligans, just skipping class in school. Let's give a toast to the teachers that were good to us, and let's give one to the ones that made us want to prove some. And of course, let's give a toast to the lost ones. It'd be sad that you're gone, but your soul gon' live on, yeah. I remember days with the homies getting lifted, twisted on our bikes, riding around with no mission.
What happened?
What did happen?
I don't know.
It just paused.
God did. No, I don't know.
That's it.
It
That
was-
comment is just like very after the conversation.
Yeah, super soothing.
I remember saying things like, man, I cannot wait to grow up. Thinking back now, man, those words were really so dumb. Drifting in the parking lot, full car doing donuts. Thinking about the night in different ways that we could go nuts. Yeah, we made mistakes, but I don't really have regrets. Life was on the line, but we were all in on the best. Sometimes I like to take a minute, think about the past. Yeah, some days were bad, but I still wish they would last. Sometimes I miss those days so much, I wish I could go back. Man, those days were such a blast. Let's give a toast to the days of the past, to the nights we don't remember, but we know they were a blast. Let's give a toast to the days of our youth, when we were hooligans, just skipping class in school. Let's give a toast to the teachers that were good to us, and let's give one to the ones that made us want to prove some. And of course, let's give a toast to the lost ones. It'd be sad that you're gone, but your soul gon' live on, yeah. Okay. So there's one more. Hey. So there's one more. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna get you to play. It's This one is like on a country rock rap kind of style. It's really cool. Wait. I wasn't.
Oh,
Sorry, I
wasn't done
refreshed
talking
it.
yet. It's featuring B Trendin'. So shout out B Trendin'.
oh, yep.
It's about making mistakes and then probably making them again.
It happens.
All
It
right.
does happen. Okay, little guitar in both these songs.
Black Lions.
It's time to have another one. I'm soaring. High above, I reach the sun. I'm soaring. I ain't sorry for the things I've done, cause I'ma probably do it again. Said I'ma probably do it again. I'm rolling. Me and the homies on the run. I'm blowing. Always blowing all my fun. I'm sorry. I'm only sorry to my mom, but I'ma probably do it again. Said I'ma probably do it again. I think I made a mistake, but shit, I'll probably do it again. I think I might have messed up, but shit, I'll probably do it again. I really shouldn't have done that. Shit, I'll probably do it again. I'd like to say I won't, but let's be real, I'll probably do it again. I'ma probably do it again. I'ma probably do it again. I'ma probably do it again. I'd like to say I won't, but let's be real, I'll probably do it again.
Burning it down, I'm burning it down. I'm running the town, I'm running the town. I'm running around like I got the crown. Straight from the dirt, get me off of the ground. I'm the one thing that's keeping me down. Self-sabotage, no one else is around. Always been lost, about time I've been found. I'm breaking the chains that can't keep me bound. Made my mistakes, I'm just trying to do better. See sunny weather, weight on my shoulders, please come take a feather. Don't talk about that, I just say whatever. Seal that note, then I go bring the letter. Gotta keep moving, I'm smelling the cheddar. I am a go-getter, that's why I keep the shit under my sweater. I am a go-getter. I think I made a mistake, but shit, I'll probably do it again. I think I might have messed up, but shit, I'll probably do it again. I really shouldn't have done that. Shit, I'll probably do it again. I'd like to say I won't, but let's be real, I'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
I'ma probably do it again. I'ma probably do it again. I'ma probably do it again. I'd like to say I won't, but let's be real, I'll probably do it again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, fucking right, man.
Yeah, there was one more I wanted to show you guys, but I can't because
So B Trendin', I had to look it up to make sure it was him before I said this. And it is. But because I remember I hosted a show at the Rainbow Bistro. And he performed, because whenever he said his name, I fucking know that name. I know that name. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy. Before the show, so everyone would come, because it's kind of a weird little stage there, and like the little stairs, like the stairs to go up to the washroom and to go up to the top floor are like the landing is the like backstage area kind of. So they would stand like right there. And I'm standing there because I got to go on, like, talk or whatever, right? And, like, so I, like, introduce him or whatever, and I give him the microphone, and he turns around, and he's like, and he's got this, like, I don't know what it was, but it was, like, some kind of, like, designer fucking thing, but it was, like, a clutch. Like, it was, like it was just one of those, like, you know, like, the big, like, long wallets chicks
Right.
have.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and it's like a little.
yeah, and like he just had one of those, and he's like, and he like looked around. I'm like, here, I'll hold it for you, whatever. And then I like looked at it, and I'm like, this better be his fucking girlfriend's, man. And like, whenever the because after he goes on, he gives me the microphone, and then I go and like talk or whatever, right? But like, I was like trying to think of something to say. I'm like, I'm gonna make fun of him for this thing. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk out. Be like, this guy's holding one of these, and like just for fun, like not like because like it was cool. It was. Like I said, it was some kind of designer shit and like whatever. I'm sure he loves it. So it's not like I'm making fun of him. It's just sort of like I'm making fun of him, I guess, a little bit.
Just a little bit,
But
but
yeah,
it's all
it's
just,
like,
it was a
fun.
good time.
I just didn't know how it would go, and I didn't want to come off like an asshole. But anyways, yeah, B Trendin'. That's fucking cool. That's a little new for you, this country thing, or like even the other one was a little different.
Honestly,
too,
bro,
with the-
I'm not like about to go make a country album. I'm not like doing all that. I heard the beat and I really liked it, and I was like, I gotta do
Yeah.
some. Bro, I was at the
He
bar.
even comes in pretty hard too on it. Like,
Yeah, man, he fucking killed it. And like, so I was at the bar and I was just going. Like, I like going to the bar while there's shit going on or all around me, and I just sit in a chair by myself and write. And I don't know why. Like, I come up with some of my best songs when I do that. So that was one of them. And before I even finished writing like my verse and the hook, I like message. I don't know why he popped up in my head of just like he needs to be on this song.
hmm
And I knew I wasn't gonna write 2 verses on it. You know, it's just like
lazy.
no, just I wrote my verse and
No,
my
I
hook,
get
and I
it.
knew that if I wrote a second verse, it just I could feel that it was gonna be forced. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's
Especially on
something that I've like
different,
very
too.
much stopped. Like I don't try to force because I can write fast.
Yeah.
You know, like I can write like the first song I played, the second verse of that song I wrote while having a cigarette.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we recorded the verse and the hook, and I'm like, okay, I gotta write a second verse. I'm gonna go have a cigarette. While having that cigarette, I wrote second verse. I came in. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. That was a good one, right? I didn't feel like I was forcing it, so I let that flow. But sometimes when I go to do that, I can just tell by the way that I'm writing. I'm like, this is just forced. This isn't my potential. This is just like good enough,
Yeah.
you know. And like that's good enough is not good enough for me anymore.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
if he can come with a fresh mind or a different like
Yeah.
look at it, you know,
But
like a different
it was like to me, it was
perspective.
like instead of like, cause yeah, I could have taken another week and then came back to the song and probably wrote another verse. But it was like I could just hear him on the beat. I knew he was gonna be a good fit, so I
Yeah.
was just like calling him right away, like, "Yo, you want to be on this?" And he even said to me after, he was just like, he's like, "Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like the beat kind of like maybe a little like nervous, like how to go about it, but like uh." He's like, you asked me to do it, so I did it. And I'm like, bro, you fucking killed it, so don't worry.
Yeah. But I noticed too, you like been performing like quite a bit.
Yeah, there's been
Yeah.
a lot of shows lately. There's another one coming up, which the poster should have been done now, and I should be allowed to promote it, but I guess technically I'm not. But let's just say that sometime in the month of March there will be a charity hip hop show that I will be performing at a venue in this city. And why does everybody want to hang out with me today? Oh wait,
This is
actually,
just
you know
a
what? Yo, hold
popular
up,
dude.
hold up. This guy's actually funny.
Do it.
Yo, Lally. Yo, you're live on the 4G Audio podcast.
No way. What's up, everybody?
What's going down, man?
Hey, not much, man. What's going on? You got my boy Chris on the radio station.
Yes,
yeah, man.
sir.
We're just swagging out. What are you
Hey,
saying
that's
tonight?
That's what I like to hear. You guys are making moves out there, eh?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. What are you saying?
I'm just chilling, you know. I just came from a little date, as a matter of
A
fact.
little date.
Okay,
Whoa.
tell us about it.
Yeah, listen, man. I was at work last week and this new girl came in and anyways, I didn't know who she was and she looked like I don't know. Anyways, long story short, I met her today and she's very nice and bubbly and I said I'm gonna go to Wild Wings after work. She's like, oh well, can I come with you? I'm like, sure. And long story short, I haven't went on a nice date and talked to someone in a long time and I'm pretty happy with how it went.
Let's go.
The cheering noise. That's sick. That's awesome, Lally. I'm happy for you, broski.
I appreciate that. I didn't realize I was live on TV, but
Yeah, man. We're happy for you, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah, I'll
up.
tell you what. Me and Stylez are gonna take a shot for you right now.
Yeah, I would do that.
Oh, that's.
I would do that for
Thank
him,
you so
man.
much. I'll have a glass of wine. That's what I'm doing right
Oh, let's
Have a glass of
go.
wine.
now. About to air fry some chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Some chicken.
Oh, man. Nice little post-date snack.
A little bit of hot sauce. You know how it goes.
Oh, yeah. Love the hot sauce.
Well, listen, man. Hope everything works out. I'm happy you guys are having a good time. Sounds like it. And Chris is the man. All right. Everyone needs to don't ever forget Chris. You know, Nayef is the man.
That's it, man.
Thanks,
I'll
buddy.
let you guys do your show. All right.
Okay,
All right,
man.
bro.
Glad you had a good
All
night.
right. Bless. Peace out, boys.
Peace.
Peace.
That's sick.
It's funny because that's the second
I
time
was
that
gonna
I'm
say,
found
I think he called before.
No,
man.
it wasn't
Did he
him.
not?
Last time it was Malcolm.
No. Didn't you have someone else? Alex, maybe?
Solid.
Maybe it's a different person I'm thinking of altogether, but
Maybe. No, because Malcolm called me once when I was on the show.
I swear you had a guy. Weren't we like, fuck
Malcolm was in the
you,
chat earlier.
fuck
Oh, no,
you,
that was
Alex.
yeah.
Or some shit.
Oh my god.
Is that right? That happened?
Yes, but that wasn't a phone call. That was because I have my rock album that I still haven't released, obviously.
Yeah.
Because when do I ever fucking release my albums, right?
That's it too. Fucking the last time.
But yeah, it was gonna be called "Fuck You, Alex." I'm not gonna name it that anymore. First of all, because I don't feel like having a swear word right in the name of the album is
Well,
a
you
good
could
idea.
just call it FYA, man.
Yeah, but then also like why am
Then
I
there's
so
a
mad at
story
this
to it.
guy named Alex?
It's the story, man. They're like,
Yeah.
do you really hate him? Like,
Why would I
"No,
hate
it
this
was
guy
just a
so?
funny
Pull up.
thing." We'll ask you.
Think
in the
about
next
somebody who
interview.
doesn't know me, who just sees the album.
Yeah, but it'd
and
be FYA.
this guy is that mad at this other guy that he
But
made
how
a
do they
whole
know?
album and named it after
How do
him.
they know what it means, though? You just not that there's anything wrong with
Not that
that.
there's anything wrong with that. I'm just not that.
Yeah, that'd be false advertising, man. But yeah, I get it. But I mean, but if you just called it FYA, no one knows anything.
Bro, I had a whole
FYA
the whole
1,
idea
FYA 2,
for
FYA
the
3.
album cover was gonna be because we used to always go to these bonfires. Like I met him at this bonfire, so I was gonna have a bonfire, and you'd see the fire in the middle, and everybody on one side, and him on one side, and just everybody is just middle finger up, like.
But see, there's even better story,
Oh,
man.
I know.
There you go. Just FYA, man.
It's just like, what does it have to do with the album, though? But like,
FYA, man,
maybe I
but
won't call
that's
it
it.
Fuck You album.
But then you get the questions, right? And no one knew it. and
But like, maybe I
And
could come up with a
the
funnier name.
YRN, man.
Cause like, what YRN?
YRN. No one knew what our YRN meant.
YRN?
YRN, Young
What's-
Rich Nation.
I thought you were about to say it.
No, but I'm pretty sure it's Young Rich Nation. But I think that that's what they tell us it is. And then whenever they're with their friends, they say the other thing.
I think you might be on something.
Maybe it's so that the radio stations can say it, I guess. Anyways, so the big thing, jeez, man. Well, I also too, just on the note of you performing a lot lately, I've noticed that you've come a long way with your performances, especially for someone who doesn't usually have I was gonna say a stunt man, a hype man.
No hype
you
man.
you fill up the stage more now, I feel like, and you have a better presence, and you look stronger as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, man. The performances of there's been a lot of differences in my performance because it's like one thing after I hadn't performed for a long time, I kind of just put it in my head and I said it to a few people that like I want my performances to not just be me going up and rapping my songs. Like I want it to be more of a show. So I always try to look at what songs like can I use to interact with the crowd. Like, man, this phone. Like
that's
so
the
that's
next
why
one.
like there's fuck you. That
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
that was fucked up. Yeah, that was fucked up. Like I love those ones because it's just like you get when the crowd's involved and then it feeds me, bro. It's
Yeah.
like food, It's
Me and Bully
it's
were
like
just
a
talking about this
pre-energy
today,
drink,
man.
boy, before you go up.
Yeah.
I love it, man. But then the only problem with it is when it's a small crowd and they don't feel like being involved, and then it's
Yeah.
like, but then. Sorry, what I should say is not the problem with it. The worry that I would have. But what ends up happening is there's always at least a couple.
Yeah.
And then there's like my boys. So when those songs come on and it starts, what ends up happening is people start coming from the back and coming
Yeah.
oh, I want to yell fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I want to just fuck you because I'm like, yo, like who has like an ex that they hate or a friend that fucked them over? Like everyone's like, I do.
Yeah.
All right, well let's yell fuck you at them. Like okay, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like
No, it's
this
good.
coming from me. Where I'm like, I'm trying to not swear so much anymore. Fuck you.
This guy, yeah, he's a pastor, and he's
Not because of that, no, because fucking No, because I have my radio show too, and I can't swear on my radio show.
And yes.
And my kid's at the
Just trying to
age
make it a
where,
good
like, you know,
habit.
he repeats a lot of what I say, you know.
Yeah.
And if I do want to be a professor one day, like, I can't be sitting there in class and be like, and then
Yeah.
fucking, yo, you know what fucking Jesus did? Like, no, like, I can't do that, you know, like.
No, it's
So
true,
like, there's
though.
all these situations where like I'm not supposed to swear, and swearing was so just like natural in my language. So now it's like I gotta like be able to not swear.
Yeah.
You know, like I need to be able to have a like. I don't worry about if I'm gonna swear on the air anymore. It's actually really cool.
Because you're getting that
It's
good at
so-
it, or what?
Yeah, it's like
And
it's
I try not all the time, but I like my goal for a long time has been to like calm down on the swearing, and like usually whenever I get in the episode, I just forget. But like I've had like where at the start I go, I'm not gonna swear, I'm gonna try not to swear, yeah, and I turn around and like in that same speech about how like this episode I'm gonna focus on not swearing, I swear a couple times. Okay, well now like starting now, you know, and then it's like all right, yeah. Fuck, you know, like it's just like I just even sometimes the thing is like it's for a lot of it's for clips and stuff because like sometimes my response to people is fuck, you know, so they'll be like, oh yeah, this happened, I'm like fuck, and it's like you just ruined that clip, you know, or like I guess you could edit it right, but it's just like yeah, fuck, you can't put that. Well, I just did it again. You can't put it on certain things, especially TikTok. We're looking at you. But anyways, I did want to feed into this, or not feed into this. I wanted to work our way into this radio show thing. So, what was the whole thing here? How'd you what was the like? How'd you get the job, and what'd you like? What was the goal here?
I went in to be a curator.
So you were just gonna go make lists.
Be a
of music?
curator for like, you know, finding songs for them to play.
Yeah.
When I went in for the interview, they were mentioning about how they wanted to start a new hip. So like, cause it went like, yeah, you know, I like to do the curating. I'm in the music scene. I'm a music artist myself, so I have a lot of friends in the scene. Blah blah blah. It's like, oh, like what kind of music? Hip hop. Oh, do you know City? Oh, do you know Jay Morris? Oh, do you know this? Do you know that? And it's like, yeah, of course I know all these. Like, do you know? And
Yeah.
boom, then it's like, okay, so like he knows people, he knows blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, we're actually planning to like start a new hip hop show. You know, we're still like looking for a host. And I'm like, this was like me just kind of jumping the gun, and like later, I'm not gonna lie, after I was like, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because I was like, yo, I'd be down to do that, and they're like, oh really? Like, okay, like yeah. Well,
Would you say that you were uncomfortable once you signed up?
No,
for it?
I just didn't know if I was gonna be good at it.
Well, that's it though.
Like
so
I was like, because you know,
but
I'm
that's-
picturing in my head, I'm thinking like in the red corner,
Yeah.
you know, like then you know, once I did my first episode, and I was like,
But that
and everyone's like,
feeling,
yo, your voice, you have such a good radio voice,
that
and I'm
feeling
like,
is how you
really?
get like that feeling is how you should live life, is where it's like I don't know if this is gonna work, you know what I mean?
So
like,
that's an old rule that I had put on myself from a very long time ago, which is say yes and figure it out later.
yeah.
You know what I
Unless
mean?
it's a chainsaw.
For music
then
stuff,
fuck,
for music stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not just, you know, go hook up with that girl, figure it out later. You know,
Oh yes, wow, that's a.
You know?
I overlooked that one. I went right to the chainsaw, and no, yeah.
no. There's lots of situations where you should think before you act.
Yeah,
But when it
wow.
comes to musical opportunities, I say yes, and I figure out how I'm gonna do it after,
Yeah.
because I'm always gonna be able to figure it out. You know, like if I can figure out how to live my life with all like mass amounts of shit that I have to fucking be responsible for, then like I can be responsible for any music thing that comes my way. This is probably one of the bigger ones because this is like a scheduled thing.
Yeah.
You know, like it's every Wednesday at 2. But I go to that school. Like I'm there.
Every Wednesday at 2, little shameless plug. Let's
Yeah.
get it. Tell everybody, man. No, seriously, hit them
It's
with
D
that.
Cypher on CHUO 89.1 FM, and I'm your host Nayef,
Let's go.
where we take some of our favorite songs from your favorite artists and break them down, dissect, and decipher them.
Oh damn.
Got it all.
What the-
It's like he's
What do
a
you
pro
call
at
it?
it or
What do
something.
you call that?
I've only had like 14 episodes.
It's like a plug, but what do you call it? There's a sound bite. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sound
Well, no,
bite.
because The whole
like
break
that.
it down, dissect, and decipher them is something that I say all the time. And
Yeah.
then-
So where'd the name come from? You got to make up the name and the whole thing, like you.
Yeah, so I was trying, like, the idea of the show was the original idea for the show was cities, actually, City Fidelia,
Okay.
and he was saying,
Shout out, fucking City Fidelia.
fuck yeah, bro, that guy just did it on the radar, fucking freestyle. You know how sick that is?
Yeah, and he didn't fake it like that other guy.
Wait, people are doing that?
There was a guy that faked it, and everyone was calling him out on the internet. It was like last week. Where were you?
Are you
No, I'm
serious?
just joking. Yeah, maybe be able to find it, but I don't know who it was. They said his name, but it was like someone like Kid Boo or something. Like, wasn't like a huge person.
Okay, but I don't even need to.
Anyway,
Someone
sorry.
actually made a fake on the radar?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So what? Like they just like
Bought
the
all like the
logo or-
lights and everything to put in
Yeah.
the background.
Made
like,
the fake
they
stage.
green screened it or something.
Oh, okay.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Bro, people will do anything these days, eh?
I mean, if it makes sense, right? Like,
I'm about to make a song with Snoop Dogg and AI the whole video. It's like,
why not? It's
I know it's
the,
just-
the,
it's
the,
just
uh,
Snoop
the
Dogg's thing,
ability
but
is
like-
out there now.
No. I don't know. I think it was Kid Boo though. Don't quote me, but I think that's the name that comes to mind. He might have done something else. I don't know. But yeah, no. So also the thing is so you do so every episode you have a guest on, and like so you were saying earlier you have an hour,
yeah.
right? And but the interview is only like just a portion of that. Or
Yeah,
do you,
the
do you go
interview
on
is-
and off through it.
No. So the way it goes is I do my announcements. I play a couple local songs. I introduce my guest. We do an interview. We play a song that the guest has made. Then the guest will break down the song. Usually they
Yeah.
break down the lyrics and what the lyrics mean. Sometimes they just break
So
down.
it's a little bit like
uh,
that. What's the fucking lyric thing?
Genius.
Lyric gene.
Yeah, kind
where
of.
it's like,
yeah,
they
a
kinda-
little like
right.
that. Yeah. So yeah, they break that down. Then we take a break, and I play typically like 4 or 5 local songs again. So it's like 2 local songs and 5 local songs typically if everything's on schedule. Then artist plugs out, I plug out, and then I play for the remainder, which normally gets to now. Now I know the remainder, which was like 15 minutes, is now like an hour and 15 minutes, but it's just songs from like 1990 to like 2010.
Yeah.
Like everything from like It Was a Good
classics.
Day by Ice Cube to like Till I Collapse by Eminem, Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick,
True.
Start from the Bottom, Drake, like just that whole what I grew up on kind of.
So what?
you know?
Do you have to edit them, or you just find the radio edits?
No,
yourself?
they have all these songs already there. There are songs I want to add in, and I
So
can't.
you have to
I
pick
just-
from a list.
yeah, but I
Here's
can.
all the radio edited songs we have.
that
picked
that,
from
that they
these.
have, but I can
Yeah.
always get whatever song I want and,
And
just
then
add it to
just
the
get it.
system. The same way when someone sends me a song, it's just I just got to do it.
Yeah. I'll send you a song.
Just send me, please, people,
Well,
send me some
yeah,
music.
shit,
I'll
there
say
you
you
go.
Send
can
me
use-
some music.
It's not.
Bro,
It's not censored though. Like
no, it needs to be clean MP3.
clean MP3.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to edit it though.
Just
Well,
just label it clean MP3 and send it to him.
Yeah, but as soon as you swear, then I have to
Just-
stop the song
I know. I just
yeah.
and do this whole public
Yeah,
apology.
but then you'll still introduce him and stuff.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. But no, so yeah, so then the interview is like a short portion. So like, yeah, I feel like it's quite different from the long form that we do here. So do you find it hard to get them to like keep it short, or like to like
Not
to
usually.
get the information in? Because how long do you do it? Like you get like 15, maybe 20 minutes for the interview, or do you do longer than this?
No, like 15 minutes typically. Because I only have typically like 10 to 12 questions. I depending on the artist. If it's an artist I don't know nothing about, then I have my generic like 10 questions. But like
Yeah.
if I know the artist, then it's like okay, I know he switched his name at this point. Ask about the old name. Ask about the new one. Ask about this album.
Yeah, what
ask
was
about,
it? G'd up.
Yeah, G'd up. Hanley was the last one.
Yeah, shout out Hanley.
But yeah, so some artists answer questions. Okay, I like when the answer to the question turns into conversation.
Yeah.
Right. I will say some people are like, "Who's your top three influences?" Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. And then
Boom.
their answer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay, next question. You know, but then some people, I'll be like, you know, if you could make a song with one person, who would it be? And like, oh, I'd love to make a song with Kendrick. But like, oh man, if I can go back in time, I'd love to make a song with Tupac. But lately, I've been fucking with, I don't know, who's a new artist these days. Lil whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Sexy
Like,
Red or
and
something.
they go on this like whole like tangent, and they name like 6 artists, and I'm like, I said one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, and those type of guests usually do that for every question.
Yeah.
So then the interview is like, I'm sitting there like,
Well, that's it. Do you find it hard because you gotta kind of like when it gets long-winded, you're like, I gotta steer it this way, like because
honestly, it's never
different.
gotten to the point where I had to like cut anything.
Yeah,
It's never
yeah.
gotten that long. I just get a little worried that it will sometimes, but it never does.
Just
'Cause-
because that's and that, like I said, that's kind of like why I asked you, because that's how it's different. Is like because here it's like ask you a question, like if it does turn into a conversation, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
Like,
if
'cause
we
it's
go for
like-
3 hours and it's fucking
Yeah,
3
yeah.
hours, yeah.
So yeah, I felt like because whenever I was listening to it and shit, I'm like, wow, like I feel like it'd be hard to be like, I have to fit it into this time frame, and then like, and that's why I wanted to ask if it was like you had to fit it in, like you have to, and you were saying like if you do,
At the
you're cutting
beginning,
out
getting
other
the structure was
music.
a little like, because at the beginning there was no, I wasn't even gonna do an interview at first. It was
Okay.
just supposed to be breaking down the song, and then it was like, oh, I need people to send me songs. Like I gotta fill like a half hour of it, and then I was like, why don't I do an interview with it? Like that makes more sense than just this guy coming on and talking about his song. Like people would probably want to know who the hell he is. What is he about? Where does he come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I was like, makes more sense, you know, like there was a whole like 2 week process of me structuring how I want to do the show. Because the first episode was me,
yeah,
right? So I pretty much did like a little short bio on myself, and then I broke down one of my songs, and then I was like, the bio idea kind of like, that's good, you know, like I wanted people to know me before I just came on and broke down one of
Yeah.
my songs. I should do that for everybody. Do an interview, let people get to know who this artist is, and then there'll be more understanding of their breakdown of their song and like actually giving a shit about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Plus, the artists would be more likely to want to come for an interview and the breakdown rather than just come and tell me what your lyrics mean.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna listen to your song and then break it down real quick.
Yeah, and then you can go by.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
yeah. But yeah, no, I love the show, but it's like I said, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just in my mind, from coming from this type of thing, I look at that and go, holy shit! Like, hey, I gotta talk to this person and try and like even myself not go on for a while. I gotta make sure that they don't go on for a while. I gotta try and like get it back to where, because like the thing is, I could in 15 minutes, man. That could be one question. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
we
that-
just we like
We killed like
That
45
demonstrated
minutes
that
talking
in
about
this
just like
episode.
one topic.
Yeah, because like the thing is like I'll let it go too. Like, but it's because that's, I don't know. I guess it's also to the format, right? But yeah, no. 89.1 CHUO. Wednesdays or Thursdays?
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. 2 p.m. till 3 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Fucking right. And send them songs. How do they send you songs, man?
You send songs to decipher.submissions@gmail.com. Decipher is spelled DECYPHER.submissions@gmail.com. If you don't know how to spell submissions, just Google it.
Yeah, you'll
Decipher
figure
is
it out.
spelled differently, though.
It should come up if you just start typing in SUBM and it'll come up. Oh shit, man. Well, it sounds like fucking your phone's blowing up like crazy. You got better shit to do. We gotta get going anyways. But we appreciate you coming through. And I mean, we just did it, but run it one more time. Tell them where to find you and all that fun stuff.
You can find me on everything at It's Nayef 93. That's ITSNAYEF 93. That's on Instagram, TikTok that I don't really use. On YouTube is different though. It's Nayef Music, NAYEF Music. Yeah, find me on all that. I got a bunch of new music coming out. I got a new music video that is almost done that Dan Barker is working on. He just got to put a couple new edits that I asked for. I got a lot of stuff coming. It's all in the works. Stay tuned. It's the main man Nayef. Holla at me.
Gang shit. One thing I want to say just real quick is what did you say? And on TikTok, on TikTok, which I don't really use. This that just like which I don't really use. I don't know. To me, that was fucking hilarious. Any motherfucking way, man. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Very
$30.
interesting, eh?
I definitely know, and I mean, I feel bad because I fucking was just making steady jokes. And
No, that's fine.
And no, it was not only a serious topic, but it also was something that I as well wanted to learn more about. And what a topic. Yeah, I don't use my TikTok really either, just so you know. Oh shit. Anyways, happy Friday, man. We appreciate you guys just as much as I assume you appreciate us. And the artists that come through here. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be Valentine's Day between now and the next time we see you. And happy Valentine's Day. Don't kill your dogs or eat your mums or whatever you do.
Well, your
on
dogs
Valentine's
or
Day.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you do on
Shit.
Valentine's Day, but
Yeah, no, I mean just the once, but anyway.
just the once. Alright, I'm out.
Anyways, before this gets incriminating, I have to go. I'm Stylez the Prophet.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together we're 2/3 of the Basement Weirdos. This is the 4G Audio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on 264, 65. See you on the next one, whatever it's called. Peace.